Okay, so in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about our power play, and we've reviewed our power play and tried to practice a little bit in practice, but we haven't really had the numbers there, and of course we had the shutdown and whatnot. But there's a few things that really jumped out at me, especially in the St. Kevin's game and also the OD game on our power play. And we're going to review this now, and we're going to use Team Canada's junior team footage to kind of help you guys understand what it is we're trying to get across in the power play. And because Team Canada here sets up with an umbrella, very similar to what we're trying to do. All right, so we're going to play this forward here, but before we get started here, I want to point out a couple of things, and keep in mind, the hash marks here are quite far apart, which I'm not really sure are that far apart for our games. But what I do notice sometimes, especially on a power play, is when we get a face off in the other team's zone like this, we've got our winger, this winger on this side, on the board side, is usually too far up. Okay, and we can't have that. Now this guy, he's basically right on where the hash marks is too, so he's down as far as he can get. And that's where we need to be. And the reason we need to be down there is because if this puck gets back by the other team, we need to jump on that puck immediately. And like I've always said, is that when we don't have possession of the puck in the other team's zone on the power play, we should always have two guys jumping on that puck. We need to outnumber them. All right. If they send one guy in, we send in two. If they send in three, we send. If they send in two, we send in three. All right. We want to outnumber. We want to get possession of that puck, and we can't wait for them to do things because we've got in most cases 2 minutes. All right, so there's 120 seconds. We need to utilize this as much as possible and have puck possession as much as possible. So keep that in mind next time we're lining up for a face-off like this. Now, one thing I will mention is you notice that this defenseman is just at the top of the circle, so he's providing puck support. And then this guy's back by the wall here. He's almost back to the blue line, so he's in a position that if the puck comes up the wall, he can he can jump on it quite quickly. So let's just play it forward here and see what happens. And we'll see quickly that they set up the umbrella once they get puck possession. All right. So you can see right off the face-off, Canada wins possession of the puck. And immediately, as soon as they get possession, they jump into their umbrella. Okay. Now they haven't gotten completely in position yet, but you can see them starting to get possession. You got this guy here. He's going to jump in front of the goalie, right? Which is exactly what we want our guys to do. This guy, he's going to be floating around the top of the hash marks right here. And then we got our quarterback right here with the puck. And then we got our two support guys on the side here. Okay. Uh, this is how we want you guys to be setting up for our power play. All right. Is this umbrella. What I find a lot of times is, we don't have anybody in front of the net. There's no one there. There's no one screening the goalie. Basically, what we have is five guys out around the perimeter. And you know what? That's no good. That doesn't help us. All right. We want to have these two guys in front of the net. Right. Now let's just play forward and watch what happens as this develops. Okay. So here you can see, the defenseman, the quarterback drops the puck down to this guy, and he starts to bring the puck down the wall. All right. You'll notice that this guy here, who was originally in front of the net. Now, what's nice about this guy's a right-handed player. Okay. If he was left-handed, it's not quite as much of an advantage because the puck, either will be on his backhand or he can't protect the puck quite as well. But he's a right-handed player, so he can drop down here and get the puck. But either way, it doesn't matter whether you're left-handed or right-handed. You still have to do this. But he becomes an option basically for this guy. So when this guy gets the puck, he's got a couple options. This guy here should be sitting around right here, and he becomes an option if this guy decides to put the puck down into the side of the net, which he can. All right, or he can put it back to the quarterback. All right, at which point the quarterback brings it toward the middle if he can. Or he's got this guy here who's floating around the hash marks. Okay, so that's your options. Now, of course, on this sequence, he drops the puck down to this guy down here. What you notice happens right away is that this guy starts to drop down a little further, a little closer. He moves into this open area here. He's hard to defend against because this defenseman has to engage here. This guy has already kind of committed himself over here, and this guy's a little too far up. All right, so this is a perfect opportunity for a nice quick pass for a shot. All right. What you'll also notice that this guy here, he's kind of floating down, and he's out around here in this area, but he's floating in a spot where he's able to provide puck support if this guy goes back here behind with the puck, or he can jump on up an open puck, or even if this guy comes over and engages, this guy can slip the puck around here for a shot on the other side. So you can see we got lots of options with this. And this is why this umbrella is so effective, and it's why most teams go with an umbrella. It works quite well. But the most important part is this guy here and this guy here, and knowing and keeping net presence. Let's just play it forward a little bit more here. Eventually, Canada loses puck possession, unfortunately, but we'll just play it forward and see what else happens here. All right. So once again, they didn't get the option down here that they wanted, but eventually a puck comes back to our quarterback, and once again, look where this guy goes. He's literally sitting right on the top of the hash marks right there. This guy, he's starting to come back into his position. He's probably got to move a little bit faster and get himself back in front of this goalie for that screen, because what this defenseman wants to do is he wants to bring the puck right to the center of the net, and he wants to be looking down the center of the net. Okay, and of course you can see this guy's coming up. He's providing support. This guy's over here for support as well. All right. Again, this is why this is so effective. But again, we need to have net presence. All right. And this is where we really drop the ball a lot, is that everybody wants to be the guys out on the perimeter. No one wants to be in front of the net, paying the price. But if you notice that the defenseman here, so I'm going to make a note of the Russians here, okay? The Russians are not engaging with this guy here, and they're not really engaging with this guy here. Most teams at the higher levels, typically what they're going to do is they're going to try to let that goalie make that first stop, and then these guys are here to clear that puck. All right. If you watch the NHL games, typically the defenseman will kind of pull off to the side here and off to the side, and they'll let that first shot come through, because really the goalie should stop that first shot. If anything, if they see that there is a shot coming through, they're not trying to move that guy necessarily out of the front of the net. Probably the biggest thing is they're trying to control his stick. All right. But having a guy right here at the top of the hash marks, and then having this guy here in front of the goalie. So you're screening the goalie here now, because let's be honest, if there's a shot that comes through from the point or even right here, and the goalie happens to make the save, this guy right here is not in a position really to pick up that rebound. This guy is. And the whole idea is that he can skate. If he's down here too low and he has to drop back to pick up the puck, it doesn't work so well. But where he's right here, now when the shot comes in and that rebound comes off, now he's skating onto the puck, and he can pop it in the back of the net. So this guy's the screen guy and the support down low. This guy's really key. He's got to be high up. He's, like I said, around the top of the hash marks. He's in that kind of little sweet spot there that we always talk about in practice and games, where, a lot of goals are scored, but he's not too low down that, he can't pick up a rebound. The other thing is that a lot of times what you'll find is that teams kind of forget about this guy. And sometimes what you'll get is this guy here on the side will get the puck. And this guy here around the hash marks is all by himself. And all you got to do is put a little pass in through here and a one-timer. And you've already got this guy that's kind of floating right here. And you got yourself a goal. All right. One thing I will say is be careful. And I'm not a fan of trying to make this cross-ice pass over to this guy. All right, and the reason I'm not a fan of it is because typically when you guys try to make that pass, these guys have got too many sticks in the way, and your passes are not hard enough. And even if they are hard enough, this guy over here, you guys are not picking up that pass. The only way this works, I mean, you see this happen in the NHL, and you see this happen at the World Junior level, at these higher levels. You know, these guys are skilled enough that they can make a hard pass, almost like a shot, and then this guy is letting it go, as a one timer. All right, and I personally, I don't see a whole lot of guys at our level. There are a couple of guys, but not a lot of guys you know, can make that hard pass right on the stick, and then the other guy is going to pick it up and put it in the back of the net. So I'm not a big fan at our level of making that cross ice pass because typically it does get picked off and then we're down the ice. I like to, try to hit this guy, or have a shot on the net. And that's what I want to see. But that cross ice pass all the way across, I'm not a big fan of it because typically, in my experience at this level, it doesn't really work. So, play to your strengths, play to the statistics, all right, and keep the puck, out around the perimeter and then work it into the point where we want to get a shot in here or a rebound in here somehow. All right, but the keys that we need to remember is that we got to have these two guys, one here and then the other guy right here. They need to be in position. Okay, we cannot have all five guys out on the perimeter. If you get into out on the ice with us, and you're on a power play, you need to be heads up. If everybody you see that everybody is out on the perimeter, then you need to make sure that someone gets in here. And before we start a power play, right before we get into the face-off, if I haven't already, because typically I will tell someone they need to be in front of the net. Maybe I need to start designating, okay, you're going to be top of the crease, you're going to be the hash marks, and that's probably what I'll start doing. And if I designate you that, then that's where you need to be. If I don't have the time to designate you in that position because you're already on the ice, or it slips my mind, then you guys, the five of you who are on that ice, need to designate, okay, you know what? You're going to be top of the hash marks and you're going to be top of the crease. All right. So keep that in mind. You guys got to be smart out there and how you do things. And I can't do it all for you, and I can't tell you how to do everything. You guys are smart enough to figure this stuff out. You see now what I'm trying to get across in regards to the type of setup we want to see. Well, take that and learn from it and make it work. All right, for yourselves. All right, but this is the setup that we want to see out on the ice from now on.